in the middle of the battlefield with all the sides witnessing the breakdown of the greatest warrior of that age. Imagine what might have gone through the Pandava and Kaurava sides witnessing this very public breakdown. For this great warrior and spiritualist to break down is not a small thing at all. So how does Bhagwan lift this great broken down warrior to the point that he is willing not just to fight but to fight and win? The Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the divine song of Bhagavan himself, is a conversation between Bhagavan Shri Krishna and Arjuna. This we all know. But this divine song is not revealed in a divine setting. It isn't revealed in the tranquility of a forest, in the heights of the Himalayas, in the soothing and lilting sounds of the beach. No, Bhagavad Gita is revealed in a battlefield. Which battlefield? The battlefield of Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra means the place of action. This we saw in our last Bhagavad Gita video. And what happens in this place of action? This Kurukshetra is also a Dharma Kshetra. This is also the place for Dharma. What is the meaning of Dharma? This we have explored in our previous video. And if you want, it's linked in the description below. What we'll be exploring today are the specific questions from Arjuna that trigger the entire Bhagavad Gita. And if you want to hear this, then make sure you subscribe to our channel now itself. This is a small step for you, but is a huge help in our efforts to bring the wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita and how it applies to all of our lives to the maximum possible audience. In the last video, we saw how the Kaurava and Pandava armies have assembled at Kurukshetra. How Duryodhana in his insecurity insulted not just his guru but all of his allies. How Bhishma Pitamaha, the grandsire, seeing Duryodhana's foolish behavior, blew his conch to indicate the start of the war. And we saw how Bhagwan Shri Krishna, Arjuna, the other Pandavas, their allies, all lifted their own conches and blew it in response, ready to fight in this atmosphere with conches blowing, drums drumming, elephants trumpeting, horses neighing. Arjuna uttered those immortal words.
सेनयोरुभयोर मध्ये रथं स्थापयाम्युत यावदेतान् निरीक्षेऽहं योद्धुकामानवस्थितान् कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे.
In Arjuna's words, we see the same insecurity as Duryodhana, here masking as bravado. And in this, we learn the first lesson of the Bhagavad Gita, which is be careful what you ask Bhagavan. Because as Arjuna's charioteer, Bhagavan Shri Krishna takes Arjuna to the middle of the battlefield and places him at that point where in front of him, not only does he see the armies assembled and their battle formations, but he sees his own grandsire, his own guru, his acharyas, his cousins, his uncles, and his own brothers facing him on the other side. And this triggers in Arjuna that which is called Vishad. In fact, this entire first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is called Arjuna Vishad Yoga. Now, Vishad is translated in English as grief, but really it's a much greater breakdown. And this is illustrated when Arjuna says,
दृष्ट्वेमं स्वजनं कृष्ण युत्सुं समुपस्थितं सीदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परिशुष्यति वेपतुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते गाण्डीवं स्रंसते हस्तात् त्वक्चैव परिदह्यते न च शक्नोमवस्थातुं ब्रह्मतीव च मे मनः.
The breakdown in Arjuna is complete. Why is this important to us? This breakdown of Arjuna illustrates that we need three things for success in any endeavor. We need skill, we need experience, and we need resources. Arjuna had the skill. He definitely had the experience. And he had sufficient resources with sufficient number of allies to fight the Kauravas. But he broke down. Why? Because we also need a fourth ingredient. And that ingredient is mental strength. We might have all the skill, all the experience, all the resources in the world. But if we don't have inner resilience, then we are not available to act in our battles the way that we need to fight. And so Bhagavan triggers this entire situation for Arjuna, knowing what his insecurities are, to show us how one behaves when their inner fortitude, their inner resilience is broken. Arjuna demonstrates all the classic behaviors that one exhibits when they are forced to do that which they don't want to do. First, he shows us dispassion. Then he shows us overstatement. And finally, he just completely gives up. In his dispassion, Arjuna says, "If the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, slay me in battle, unresisting and unarmed, that would be better for me." Arjuna saying it's better to die at the hands of the sons of Dhritarashtra, whom just a moment ago he was calling the evil-minded sons of Dhritarashtra. How in his breakdown his mind changes. How Arjuna says that society will break down if he fights this war. He says that there will be no one to protect the honor of women and entire society will crash down, not realizing that this war is to maintain dharma and therefore Arjuna himself must fight. Arjuna finally gives up. Sanjaya, who is witnessing this entire situation, recounting this moment, says, "Having thus spoken in the midst of the battlefield, Arjuna sat down on the seat of the chariot, casting away his bow and arrow with a mind distressed with sorrow." Thus ends the very first chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, with the hero Arjuna not even ready to fight, not even ready to stand up. And if you see where this is happening in the middle of the battlefield, with all the sides witnessing the breakdown of the greatest warrior of that age. Imagine what might have gone through the Pandava and Kaurava sides witnessing this very public breakdown. And Arjuna is no weak warrior. Not only is that, he is a strong spiritualist as well. He has mastered many sadhanas. He has had pratyaksh darshan of several deities. He has spent some time living in Swargalok, in heaven himself. For this great warrior and spiritualist to break down is not a small thing at all. So how does Bhagavan lift this great broken down warrior to the point that he is willing not just to fight, but to fight and win? This we will study in our next video. Because from the next video onwards, we start Bhagwan's address to Arjuna that picks him out of his dejection, and how we, living in today's world in the 21st century, can apply that guidance of Bhagwan to lift ourselves in our lives. If you enjoyed this video, then please do subscribe to our channel for more such wisdom, not just from the Bhagavad Gita, but also from the Hanuman Chalisa. If you have subscribed, then why not share this video with family and friends so that they too may benefit from this wisdom of Bhagwan Shri Krishna? And if you've enjoyed this video, then do leave your thoughts in the comments below. My name is Dhumatkar. Thank you again for joining us on yet another video on the Bhagavad Gita, and I hope to see you again very, very, very soon. Namaste.